Hello, we're Latvian Diaries Abroad. I'm Ligii,
And I'm Kitty.
and today we're going to talk about going back home.
Yes. As you may have noticed from the previous episode, we were very excited to go back to Latvia. So now we're back and we can catch you up on what happened there with the summer solstice celebration. And then I'm thinking I'm gonna interview Liggy about her experience of being home for the first time in 5 years. And exactly today is the day that she moved to the UK. So it's a good choice of, of a day to record this today.
Yeah, yeah. So, uh, Latvia went well. Summer solstice was lovely. Um, we did post a few pictures and a few videos on our Instagram profile. We also, I think, shared them to Facebook, so you can look at them if you wish, if you're interested. Um, but we were more in the moment than we were taking pictures because we had all this plan. We were like, we're gonna film some videos and we're gonna film a vlog, and none of that happened. We were just there, we were in the moment, we were enjoying life, enjoying Latvia, enjoying summer solstice, Līgo and Jāņi, and it was lovely.
Oh, it was great. It was, well, unfortunately, it was actually raining on the day of the celebrations. But we went and got really nice flower crowns, like super fancy luxury ones, the rosy ones. And we still had a meal that it kind of is similar to what we would have had if we could have like a barbecue or something. Um, and my favorite part is that we went to the outside disco slash herbal ball thing afterwards. Um, yeah, it was it was really nice. I do feel like we should have planned a bit better because it was a bit out of like we were watching. Oh yeah, we were watching Latvian TV, like some Latvian shows. That was also quite nice, at least for the two of us.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Do you wanna?
But no, yeah, my favorite part I think was also being in the castle ruins of our hometown, and everything was decorated, and we had our flower crowns, and it was just magical, and there was this energy, and it was just lovely, and there was Latvian music playing, and there was this huge fire just going up in the sky, and it was magical and lovely and everything we could have ever wished for, really.
Yes.
And the rain had stopped
Yes.
just before like midnight, like 11, and that's when we went, and there wasn't that many people because of the rain, but
Yeah.
it was lovely and I wouldn't change a thing.
No, exactly. I actually think it was really nice. It wasn't very crowded, and also it was still warm outside. That was, I think, I was just enjoying it. In general, the whole time while we were in Latvia, the weather was just like it would be in like on some summer vacation somewhere other in Europe. It was really warm and hot at points. But yes, oh my god, the ball, I really loved it. Yeah, I loved being there. It was just exactly, it was such a um, it was such a fulfilling experience being there, I think. And I felt so free actually within myself. I remember being younger and all these kind of events. It would be fun and interesting, but I think I would be very self conscious and shy. So I wouldn't like go and jump around on the stage where you can dance and stuff. So yeah, that was nice. We did dance. Well, it wasn't the stage, but on the platform. It's good times. It was good times. We didn't throw our flower crowns anywhere. They were just too pretty.
No, I remember that the next day I was like, damn it, we should have. But then again, they were so gorgeous and lovely that, you know,
Yeah,
next time.
next time exactly. When we make our own crowns, I think that's when it's the most interesting. But yeah, the rose flower crowns were so pretty that I actually wore mine the whole next day as well. I traveled back to Riga with it on my head. it just felt so good. I loved it. I love it. I still love it. I mean, I don't have it anymore. I left it with my mom. She might dry it, and hopefully it will still look nice.
I'm just surprised that like the roses were like good smelling roses. Because nowadays you will buy a bunch of roses in a shop, just like a bouquet, and they don't even smell like anything. But the flower crown, the whole time it was on my head, I could smell flowers and I felt like this little fairy, and it was just magical. It was like honestly one of the best days of my life.
Yeah, just the crown itself made everything so much better. I think. We did go and take some pictures with them on, so those are really nice as well. Very pretty, very pretty. We are like two little fairies. Um, ah, that was so good. Oh, I wish I could wear it more often, like something like that. It did not want.
We just have to have the balls to do it, really.
Yeah.
Because when we were wearing it on the day, some people were still looking at us like, really? But we didn't care because we were like, this
Yeah.
is a tradition. We have to. We look pretty. And honestly, it made me feel so beautiful and
Yes.
so powerful and so feminine that maybe I should wear them
Yeah.
like on a
On
not
it.
on a daily basis, but I don't know, like buy a fake crown maybe and just wear it whenever I need the boost of confidence.
Yeah. I exactly. It felt like it made me feel just. It made me feel like I look good, and I didn't really. That's like I didn't even care if anyone is looking at us. I actually, I would be looking at people that aren't wearing any crowns on the day, be thinking like, come on, like, just enjoy the whole day, you know? Don't just wait for the evening where you eat and drink. Like, I think it's like the magic is in the air from the very beginning.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was, I think, as we have established, I think the flower crowns were the best part of the celebration. Well, also, what's important is the fact that it was a rose crown, so they are expensive. We would not, nor like in our past lives, we wouldn't ever have gotten something of sorts. So, but because we were last minute, we didn't really have a choice. But at the same time, it was
I'm glad it
yeah,
happened.
me too. I think
Yeah.
no, it was lovely. It was lovely. Ah, it's a good memory. It is a good memory. I'm so glad that we managed to do basically everything we wanted to do um, for the summer solstice and stuff. Yes, well, besides summer solstice, obviously it was Ligi's first time back home, as you might have heard before.
Hmm.
um, so we have a few questions that I'll ask you, Ligi. And I'm sure there's gonna be some conversation happening between the two of us. But I think you are the interviewee because you haven't been home for 5 years. I have
Hmm.
almost every year actually, at least for like 10 days or so. So okay, let's start with the more general question. How was it going back home after not being there for 5 years?
Um, it was very weird because the time leading up to it, I was so nervous and so anxious about it. And in my head, I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I want to cancel my trip. And then when it got to 2 weeks before, I was like, oh my God, this week I'm going. And then I was like, I am finally excited. That's good. Um, and then I was so excited on the day. Because we landed like quite late on the Wednesday night, but I was buzzing the whole day. Like every time I would forget, like I'd be waiting for a train, and then I'd be like, "Oh my God, we're going to Latvia!" Like it was ridiculous. I really annoyed my partner with all of my excitement, but I was just so excited because I hadn't been back for like almost 5 years, and I was still quite nervous about seeing everybody and not knowing how it's gonna go. And me and my family, we don't have the closest like friendships slash relationships. So I didn't know if that's gonna go well or not. And I hadn't spoken to my brother for like 3 years and hadn't seen him since I left. So that was just very, very, I don't know. But yeah, it felt very good. and I'm very glad I went. And then I cried on the plane back because I don't know, it just felt like I'm leaving a massive chunk of myself in Latvia. And then I cried the next day, and then the day after that, and the day after that. It just was, I needed some time to normalize living back in Wales again. But I am happy I'm here again, and I can't wait to go back to Latvia again. It was just, yeah, it was really emotional.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely was. But at least you got to enjoy it for the most part. I think that's
Yes, it was enjoyable.
yeah. um, yeah. Well, I want to ask you, what was there anything that kind of surprised you while you were in Latvia that you felt like, oh, this wasn't like that before, or anything, or maybe underwhelmed you? You thought something would be a lot further developed, but it wasn't.
Um, it felt very odd because it felt like nothing has changed, but everything had changed at the same time. Because I'm obviously used to Wales and being away and people speaking English, that it was very hard for me to actually swap languages. And there was one cashier who I didn't hear what she was saying, so I said, "Oh, I'm sorry," but I said it in English, so she assumed that I'm foreign. So we had a whole conversation in English because I didn't have the heart to tell her that I'm actually Latvian and I can speak with her in Latvian. Um, because in my head it was just very hard to switch between the languages because I'm most of my life, 99% of my life is happening in English, and I only speak Latvian when I speak to Kitty or Lo, my two friends. And it was rough. And also it felt weird because the capital, they're still building some parts, so it feels like nothing has changed because there's always like renovations happening. And then about my hometown, it it kind of surprised me a lot. Obviously, the schools have changed, which happened straight after I graduated. So to me, it just felt like a chapter finishing for good because it happened straight after I graduated, and then I moved away, and then I moved countries, and it just kind of felt fitting. But then being back in my hometown, I was trying to show my partner some shortcuts that I used to take as a child, as a kid, and I couldn't because they've built houses everywhere. And I was just so shocked about of the amount of houses and just shops and everything that's been there. It's like life has not stopped there. And it was just weird and bizarre because in the town that I live at the moment, shops are constantly closing and there's just empty buildings everywhere because of COVID and all of the Brexit and all the other reasons that they're naming. And then in my hometown, it feels like life never stopped. It just went and continued on, and it kind of, I don't know, it felt weird in a way because it kind of hurt me because I was like, how dare my hometown move on without me?
Oh,
So
I
toxic,
feel
but
ya. I feel ya. It's honestly, it has happened every single time I have moved, like, or like I've moved with my family. That's happened every single time. As we leave a place, and then you would come back every now and then, and there would be some good changes, and I would be like, why didn't this happen while we were there? Like, it's almost like as if I have to leave for that place to develop further. That is, yeah, that is the thing. But also speaking in English with someone who's Latvian, I think 2 years ago maybe, I was in the capital city. I was going into a souvenir shop to buy some stuff for my as a like partner and friends over here in the UK, and I don't know, like something happened, and I just started talking in English with the person, and like, oh, she started speaking in English. I don't know, like, it was just, and I couldn't, I didn't stop her or like change the language just to make it easier. I just continued in the English manner. It was awkward. I mean, it was awkward only for me because let's be real, the person wouldn't know, I guess, if our accent doesn't give us away, I guess. But yeah, I get that. It happens.
The funny thing is, when we came back, like straight after getting back to Aberystwyth, we stopped in Wetherspoons to have like a bite before we are gonna go home because obviously we don't have any food in the fridges. And when the waiter brought out my food, I said thank you in Latvian to him. But I caught myself and then I like said it in English, so nothing like felt bizarre. But my partner was like, I heard what you said, and I was like, we don't need to talk about it. Because it's an honest mistake. And
Yeah.
at that moment, I was just so sad because I was like, I'm back here. My holiday is over. And obviously, I kind of don't know when the next time I'm going to be in Latvia is going to be. I hope it's not going to be another 5 years. I'm not going to let myself it be another 5 years because it just showed me that things can be good there. And I'm not saying I want to move back there, at least not yet, but it was just nice to see my brother and his wife and just exploring the capital in a way that I had never because I'm a tourist and I just get to, I don't know, I get to see my country, my home country, my homeland from a different perspective. And I think it's just what I needed to further my healing, I suppose.
Mm. Oh. Oh, that's beautiful. That is very beautiful. No, yeah. So let's see. Were there like obviously you were eating food that was in Latvia now and everything and drinks. Did you? Do you have anything specific that you either ate and you were like, oh my god, I really missed this, or maybe complete opposite that you're like, oh, I'm so used to the English way that like the Latvian food doesn't hit me anymore as it used to.
When we were having lunch with my mum, she obviously asked what I want to eat, so she like prepared because all I asked was plain boiled potatoes with dill, and that's what I got. And I just ate it, and I was like, oh my god, this is how my poor childhood felt like tasted like, and it just brought back so many memories, and that's what I wanted. And obviously kvass.
Oh yeah.
I wish I could go out now and just have a pint of cold kvass. But when we came back, I was like, oh my god, I'm so glad I can again eat British food because it has grown on me. And it's just bizarre and weird because I love Latvian food, but I don't think it's that much different from the
Yeah.
British food, especially the things that I can eat because of all of my allergies and intolerances. But yeah, I just missed. So the first meal I had in spoons was chips and beans.
Aw. That's adorable. You've been changed.
I have been changed.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think I've been changed in a good way. Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Or like the exactly best of both worlds, yeah. Okay, well that's very interesting. I see. I see. Um so did you have anything in mind that you really want to visit or see while you were in Latvia or not? And then like did you see those places? How did you feel about it? And
I really wanted to do the cable carts and go like hiking in my hometown. We didn't get to do that. We did see like the castle ruins before the like Līgo happened because I wanted my partner to see it in its full glory without the people, and like we walked everywhere and saw like the rooms and everything. So that was lovely, even for me. Like it's like a tiny museum, but it isn't because there's no guide and you can just walk around. So that was lovely, and although like we didn't get to see much and we didn't get to experience like the cable cart across the river or anything like that, or we didn't even go to any museums, I still really enjoyed my time because it wasn't, I knew that I'm gonna go there and I didn't know how I'm gonna be feeling, and my PTSD was rough some days and I had to take it easy. And I'm glad that I let myself take it easy, and I'm glad that I let myself enjoy it in a way that I was able to enjoy it and not overpack myself with things to do. But I'm very, very glad that we could see Law.
Oh yes.
Because I don't know, it felt very weird because obviously I hadn't seen her for 5.5 years, and it just felt like seeing her. It felt like no time has passed at all. Like we could still talk about things, still be awkward about things, and it was just wonderful, like seeing that the closeness is still there and the love between us is still there, and I feel like it has brought me closer to her in a way now. I feel like
Okay.
now there's like this chat going in the
Yeah.
group chat, and it has never happened like
Yeah.
that much. And now she's thinking maybe she will come visit us, and I hope she does. And I don't know, it just like made me remember how much I miss that girl and how much I love her, and how like she was my other half basically growing up, because she was like always there. She was my best friend. I would always, we grew up together
Yeah.
basically. We've been through much, like so many things together, that it just felt weird that I had forgotten that she was such a like big part of my life for 5 years. And now seeing her, I was just like, oh my god, you know, it's weird to explain and put it into feelings and words, but it was just so, I'm just glad I got to do that and see her,
Yeah.
and like see her home as well, because I visited like her mum's house, which was to me growing up like a second home,
Mm.
because we spent so much time there. We used to study there, we used to cook there a lot, and seeing her mother, it just felt, I don't know, very healing as well. Because her mother, like, she just looked at me and she knew who I am, and she was like, "I haven't seen you for ages," and I was like, "Yeah, I've been living away for 5 years,"
Yeah.
and it was just awkward without the awkwardness, and it was just lovely and sweet, and I kind of miss that, like that closeness and
Mm.
that love, where you don't even have to tell the person that you love each other for you
Yeah.
to feel that love and to know that the love is there.
And it being actually easy as well. Like you don't have to put a lot of almost like effort in it. It's just there. I think because that's the thing. It was part of your life for so long that all the foundations and everything were built already. So that now it's just more like, oh yeah, you just need to remember that it's still there and like reconnect. Yeah. Wow. No, it's definitely good times. Definitely good times. That's so lovely. And shout out to Lo. We know that she
Yeah.
listens to the podcast.
She'll let us know her thoughts later.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's amazing. Okay, okay. So you did see some bits, but not everything you wanted. But that's all right. I feel like it just only means you have to go there more frequently now to kind of catch up with everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because obviously you can't do everything in just like 1 week. It's not enough. It's really not enough. Hmm. Wow. I feel like. Oh, yeah, I'll ask you one or a couple of moments while you were in Latvia that you really like can recall back and they really hit your spot. I mean, I imagine this meeting Law was one of them, but were there any others that were like, oh my god, just like bringing you back down to earth and like just feeling the love and everything? Or excitement, I don't know. Doesn't really matter which.
I think there were a few. So obviously seeing Law was one of them, and just getting to see her and talk to her, it was that was one of them. Another one was seeing my brother, because growing up we had 7 year age gap. It always felt like we were distant, and I knew that we cared for each other, but we cared for each other in a distant way, if that makes any sense. So just seeing him in person, I don't know, it just reminded me that hey, I have a family who, like my brother and his wife, and they care about me, and it felt so nice just catching up and sitting there and seeing my partner interact with my brother. It just melted my heart, and it, I don't know, it was a very pure moment that I sat there and I was, it was just hard for me not to cry in the moment, because I already knew that's gonna mean so much to me a bit later when I look back at it. And my partner had a great time. He likes my brother, which is great because I like him too. Um, but yeah, that was like one of those moments where I was like, yeah, this is what life is about. And although in the beginning, after, because my brother picked us up from the airport and then dropped us off in my hometown at Airbnb, I cried that night because I felt so guilty for leaving because I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen my brother for 5 years. It's all my fault. And I just felt this immense guilt and suffering. But then I had to remind myself that I left for a reason. I left for myself to heal, to work on myself and my PTSD and leave past in the past, and that it wasn't my fault, that is what I needed. And I'm obviously glad I left because I've been away for 5 years and I am a different person. I feel like everybody sees that. I'm so much more happier. I'm so much more me. I can be open about what I love and what I want to do, and life's just great. And I didn't feel like that 5 years ago. I was so depressed. My PTSD was struggling. I'm struggling still, but it's nothing compared to how it was. And I haven't hurt myself almost in a year once. So it's just, there's these so many lovely milestones and goals that I'm accomplishing that I know that I left for a reason. But in that first night, I just felt so guilty. And then we saw my brother and his wife later some Saturday night just for drinks and food, and it was so lovely. And then I realized that, oh, it doesn't matter if I had to take that time away. It doesn't matter because now I'm better and I can be here. Because I feel like if I hadn't left, I would have probably done something very nasty and awful that sad people do. And I was just there enjoying the moment and enjoying the capital city pubs, and I didn't even know that there were these amazing pubs. And now I want to go back and enjoy them again and invite my brother and just have so much fun. And then another moment when I felt like I was at home, I remember on the first day we left and I saw a jasmine bush and I was like, yes, I'm home. And I could smell all of the bushes and flowers. They were doing the right thing in the right season and at the right time, and it just felt so magical because my hometown is very green. There were flower pots everywhere and everything was just blossoming and blooming and smelling divine. And as me and my partner were having like dinner outside, there were like little birds chirping, like sitting next to us basically and watching us, and they weren't massive seagulls who are gonna try to attack you and steal your food. It was just these tiny birds from like Snow White, and it was just lovely. That's like, then I was like, yeah, I missed this. This is what I missed. I think that's why it took me so much time after the holiday to be like, oh, here we go, back to the seagulls and everything. And don't get me wrong, I love my life here in Wales, but life in Latvia is completely different, and I hope that I get to enjoy it more.
Yeah. Yeah. I do agree. Weirdly enough, on some level it seems it's not that different. Even like the nature, technically the UK is really green as well, but it's just different. It really is different. It's so hard to explain until you're really like in there and like you see it for yourself and enjoy it for yourself. But yeah, I do agree. Well, these were really really beautiful moments, Liggy. That's nice. That's nice. Oh, so much love. Let's hope we can go back to Latvia together more frequently as well. I think it's just it's nice to be there with someone who's in a similar position, like visiting
Yes.
home, being a tourist back home. Well, it's not, to be fair, at this point in time, for the first couple of years it did feel like I was going back and I'm just like a tourist myself, but this year it felt a bit different. Either because I was really prepared myself, that I planned my time, unlike Liggy, that gave smartly enough gave herself enough space to kind of absorb everything. I had planned every single day with multiple things that I'll do just to manage to see everyone, to do everything that I wanted for myself. And even though all it was all going really well, in the last few days, it did feel a bit more tired, and I did wish that I was like, oh, was taking it a bit slower. But I think either way, it just felt good. Like it felt for the first time in a while, it felt like it is my home as well. So it's like I had this realization I do have two homes. That's it. That's just how it's not even two homes. I think I totally even in one of our walks that every time you move and live somewhere for some time, it's just it is part of you. So me moving around in Latvia meant that exactly our hometown was a really big part of me. So I really love it still. But similarly, I like all these other places I used to live for a couple of years, or like 3 4 years. I don't know. It depends. Yeah, they are like still like big parts of our life, of my life, and yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's just nice being there. And I don't know, it was good. It's good. I was enjoying it. It was such a good time. Yeah, we were sitting in the Riga pubs and stuff, which was like such a mixture of English but like Latvian culture. I don't know, it was so weird.
Yeah.
It was not weird. It was nice. I enjoyed it. I was like, yes, yeah. When I joined you and you meeting your brother at the pub and there was this beautiful singer, I was like, wow, that's what I want. Just like a more group of friends, like being together, like talking and listening to the beautiful live music, and just yeah. Even though it was raining
Yeah,
outside.
that moment, like, right? That moment for
Yeah,
me was like, this is how life should be
yeah,
like.
yeah,
Just love.
yeah,
And, no worries, no nothing, just love.
and enjoyment. Yeah,
It felt amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're just existing and you're good. It was I don't know. I don't know if the singer was doing some magic in there or something, but like that whole moment was just so beautiful for me as well. No, it was really good. It was good. Also, it was really cool to watch some Latvian TV shows. Oh, yeah, like TV shows or like films and stuff. Even though they don't really make sense at this point. Um, it was really, it was a bit nostalgic to watch something properly Latvian. And oh my god, seeing all those celebrities being old now.
Yes.
That was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's good times. Good times. Well, I feel like we can. I guess. Well, you did bring this up with how you felt the first night that you felt like you left the country and felt guilty. So we do have this one question: am I a traitor for choosing to escape? Um, if you feel like answering this question, go ahead. But I would
Um,
probably paraphrase it like, do you still feel guilty?
it's a weird one because obviously on the first night I did feel like, oh my god, what if I have made a mistake? Because in my head on that night, it felt as if I could have had a better relationship with my brother if I hadn't left. Um, and maybe I could have made a life there in Latvia. But obviously, I chose to leave for reasons, and I'm glad I did because I met so many amazing people, and I've changed so much. I've gotten to show the world the real me, and it's just lovely. And then coming back because I didn't understand my emotions then, and I was so sad because the holiday was over, because I didn't know when the next time I'm going to be in Latvia is going to be, because I did miss home and I felt homesick, and I just kind of wish I could take more parts of it with me for longer or go there more often. I felt guilty for feeling that way. And I remember the first few days, I was like, I think I want to move back. I think I really want to move back. And then I felt guilty because I obviously have a partner who is here, and I have so many friends, and I have a job that it's all right. And I love Aber. It's such a sweet little town with its weird little people, but I love it here, and I've made a home for me here, and I know that I'm gonna leave Aber at some point, but that's also gonna be a very, very hard choice to do because Aber is like my hometown, the place where I found myself, where I healed, where I found love, where I learned to let people love me, and yeah, and I remember the first few days being back in Wales, I was miserable because I couldn't. I felt like I don't belong here, but I don't belong in Latvia, and I just couldn't fathom and couldn't understand how I'm feeling, and I was writing so many poems about it because
Ooh.
that's how I put out my emotions. And then I remember one day I sat there and I realized, oh no, like I'm happy here. I don't want to move back, at least not yet. If I do want in future, that's fine. That's a future choice. I don't want to just yet. I just want to be there more often. See if I actually like it, or if it was just this whole homesick feeling. But I don't think I'm a tracer. I don't feel guilty. I sometimes feel guilty. I don't feel guilty, I feel sorry for myself. I think that's a
Mm.
better way how to put it. Because I know it's not my fault that I left. Yes, it was my choice, but I made that choice because of how unhappy and how badly mistreated I was in Latvia, and I couldn't see the end. And I saw this as a way out, as a second chance at life. And I gave this second chance my all, and look at me now. I'm thriving, I'm happy, I'm in love, I'm healthy, like I'm still alive. What else could you ask for?
Wow.
So I don't feel guilty. I feel sorry for myself that I had to leave, but I wouldn't change it at all, ever, because I think I did the right choice. And
Mm.
I'm still a Latvian, and I always will be a Latvian, and I will always have at least two homes, one in Aberystwyth here in Wales, and one in Latvia, and I think that's okay with that. Like, I'm okay with that, and it doesn't matter if other people are, because it's not on them, it's on me.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. I even got some chills, man. That was very well said. Very well said. And also, yeah, the understanding. Yeah, I guess at the end, it's not really guilt. It's almost grief for the fact that exactly you couldn't
Mm-hmm.
have it better. Wow. Yeah, I don't look at it, and I don't think I have ever really looked at it as an escape. I actually was worried that people would think, oh, well, I left Latvia like everyone does or something. I really don't think it is my case. Like, yes, okay, I haven't been, I haven't lived there for 5 years now, but like, I don't think I escaped. I just, I knew I also needed to kind of change the environment, and my approach was to leave country. So that's what I did, and I think that's what I really needed. And exactly the same as for you. Of like I've experienced so much. I've changed so much. I've grown so much as a person. I've opened up here so much more. It's almost like I feel like I've grown up here. Like I've developed
Yes.
into a young adult. Um, like within here. So yeah, so it is like a big part of me. Like, and yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it as a bad thing. Yeah.
Yeah, when I say escape, I don't mean the country, because country is lovely and
Yeah.
gorgeous. I mean the situation I was in
Yeah.
and the people I was with. Um, so I, that's why I also feel, that's why I sometimes feel guilty about it, because to like escape the situation and people, I had to leave the country behind. But I'm still Latvian in heart. I'll still be watching ice hockey every May, and I'm gonna be the biggest fan, and I just love Latvia so much that like that part is never gonna
Mm.
change about me.
Yeah.
And like what you said is so beautiful as well, because we have grown up here. It feels, that's why for me it's so bizarre to think that today marks 5 years that I've been here, because it feels like I've been here forever.
Yeah, like a
Like,
lifetime
I
almost,
know
right?
that I used to live in Latvia, but it feels so, so, so far, far in the distance, so far in the past, that it just doesn't believe, like, I don't feel like it was me, because it was a different version of me that lived there. But
Yeah.
for me now, it feels like this is all my life, and this is all that's, I don't know. So it feels bizarre to like see on my Facebook memories, oh, today you moved to Aberystwyth, and I'm like, wow, it's been 5 years.
Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy. And at the same time, I feel like even though it's only been 5 years, so much has happened. So much has happened. Honestly, it is like a lifetime. It's not just like it's both personally but also globally, and like with uni and work and jobs and whatnot. Yeah. Uh it's just it's been so much. Like even thinking like a year back, I'm like, if you really go month by month, you would see how many different things you've done, and I'm like, oh my god, I've done that in 1 year. That's crazy.
Don't. When I look back at like myself back in like a year
Yeah.
back, I was so unhappy. I was so depressed. I was engaged to a man I never loved and who never loved me back. I was stuck in an abusive relationship, working a job I didn't really enjoy or like. And it's so weird because now I live by myself. Like, yes, I don't live by myself. I live with strangers, but I live by myself. We have this podcast going. I've lost some weight and I'm just healthier. I haven't had that many depressive episodes. I haven't harmed myself in almost a year. And I'm in love with the most gorgeous human ever. And oh my God, like that's happened in like in a year, like less than a year. And I just can't believe it. And to think that like in that little time, just a year, happened so many things. And to think that I've been here for 5 years,
Yeah.
it just makes me wonder what the next 5 years are gonna bring and how magical they're gonna be. And I just can't wait. But I also don't want to rush it because
Yeah.
I just want to enjoy everything.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Be here now, enjoy it a lot more. I think one thing that I got, well, it's one I've done, like I did some spiritual practices while I was in Latvia, but also in general, I think once I came back, it just kind of gave me a fresh like feeling of gratitude towards everything, like towards my life, everything I do, where I live, um, and yeah, this feeling of being more here and now, because I think before you were like in this
Mm-hmm.
routine that you're doing like the same thing almost every day, or like you're in the same place, and it just feels like, I don't know, it's just like you're in a one carton box all the time. Nothing changes. So yeah, it's definitely given me this appreciation for here and now, and also I feel like a bit easier to kind of ground myself in the here and now, because it's so easy. I think in my head I sometimes can be like so far ahead in my head, that it's just, I wouldn't even notice what's happening around me. I would, but I wouldn't. Like, yeah, it's weird. So I'm glad, I'm happy that that has happened. Yeah.
Mm, definitely.
Yeah. And I'm really happy about our girl chat now as well. It did die out for like a long time. Even though we tried every now and then, we would try something, but like I think, hopefully that, yeah, hopefully that it's kind of, it's gonna be a bit more alive these days, and I do feel like it's gonna be
Yes.
so. Because at the end of the day, we all are just humans going through weird stuff, or just going through stuff, whether it is like something very hard or it's just the daily struggles, or not even struggles, just sharing what we really enjoy about life. That's also really great.
Yeah, that's what I was like so happy about on Saturday because I was having a hard time. I don't even know why. I just woke up and my body decided I'm not gonna be having a good day, and I was like I felt like I needed somebody to talk to, and I didn't know who to talk to. And then I remembered how close we used to be when we were teenagers and we were still in the same country, and I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna message them and see if they reply. And then you replied with a voice
Yeah.
message. And then the chat just kept going
Yeah.
on, and we spoke for like 3 hours. And I was just there, like, oh my god, like, there's so much love between us
Yeah.
three that it's amazing, it's magical, and I never want to lose it. And I never want to feel like, oh, I have nobody to talk to, because I can always talk to you guys, and you're like, you're my family
Yeah.
in a way, and you always will be. And it makes me sad that sometimes we forget about that, but I'm glad that Latvia kind of opened our eyes a bit and reminded us that there's so much love between us, and that we're always going to be there for each other no matter what, no matter how much time
Yeah.
passes, no matter how far away from each other we are. We're always going to be there for each other, cheer each other on, and just love each other unconditionally.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fact that exactly we need to remember we're not alone. I think that's the biggest trap we set for ourselves every now and then. And yeah, that is very valuable. Having this community back. Ah, so lovely. No, it's good. It's good times. Well, I feel like we've talked about a lot of things regarding Latvia. Is there anything closing words you want to say, or this was pretty good? I feel like this was very beautiful.
It was very beautiful, but my closing words would be, if you haven't visited Latvia, please go and visit Latvia, especially Sigulda, because you're gonna love it. You're gonna fall in love, and you're gonna understand where we're coming from, and it's just magical there. Honestly, you should go and visit it.
Yeah, exactly. Especially summer, around summer solstice time. I think it's just there are so many different activities that you can go in and participate in. I'm sure they're organizing a lot more in like not just in Latvian, also in English language and stuff, because we do have a lot of like international students and whatnot. So it is a lot more welcoming place than you would might think. And winter time for snow is also really good. Every time is really
Yay!
autumn is very beautiful. It's very colorful. That is one thing I noticed that the UK doesn't get as colorful as Latvia does around autumn time. Yeah, well, I hope you got something out of this podcast. If not, then at least to think about Latvia and potentially visit it. And yeah, I enjoyed this.
Yeah, it has been lovely.
Yeah.
As always, guys, thank you for listening. Leave us your thoughts or suggestions or any comments down below in the comments. Remember to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We're slightly more active there nowadays. But the more you interact with us, the more we're going to put back into you. So
Yeah.
don't be a stranger.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you for listening. And see you next time. Hear you next time. Talk to you next time.
Bye.